That'll be a good cold open. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the JoyPad podcast. It's been, I don't know, like a month since we've recorded. It's been longer since we've uploaded, but that's fine. We're professionals. This is what we do. It's what we do. Uh, I am Mr. Michael Pinto. I'm one of the hosts of this podcast. With me are my other three co-hosts, one of who is just deep in the throes of sleep madness. I could see it on his face. We have Megan, Tom, and Mr. Michael Fleming, who is he's out of it. So,
I'm good. I got this.
You got this?
I should have taken a picture. It would have been like that time that your video kept corrupting and you turned into three faces within one.
The Silent Hill monster.
It wasn't lagging though, right? It was just me looking like I was gone.
You just had a very tired face that I've never seen before upon your countenance.
I probably saw it when I had to take the 5-hour energies away from him during his senior year, but
sounds about right.
Yeah. So it's a new year, new us, guys, new us, new identity. Yeah, I know. Mr. Fleming, what are you drinking? What have you been playing? How you feeling beyond the tires? Anything else you want to share with us?
Yeah. So I am drinking, well, two things potentially. I have a unsponsored Coca-Cola. This is to keep me awake if I decide to drink it, but I'm really trying not to because, it's a new year, new me. Not going to be as heavy as I am right this moment. I'd rather be a little thinner. So that's if I do the face again, you can let me know and I'll drink our unsponsored, but please sponsor Coca-Cola. But no, I have a new thing. It is just water, but it's in a very interesting bottle. So my sister, and actually the podcast knows this. So for those that have not listened to the podcast too much, I have been on a journey to get the company Tasty Cake, if you know who they are in the Northeast, to bring back strawberry Krimpets. Everybody I know that knows me well enough, like my family and my immediate friends, like you guys, all know this. My sister knows it too and decided that she was going to make us some bottles. So I have the Krimpet Kid bottle.
Oh my God.
And
amazing.
Yeah.
That's
so
incredible.
Now I have a little bottle that has a Krimpet on it that is strawberry flavored. I'm hoping it comes back this year. Tasty Cake and I need to talk. But it just has water in it for the health and for my voice tonight.
It's just full of pure high fructose corn syrup.
It's full of strawberry frosting.
Yep.
Guess what's in Fleming's bottle?
Frosting.
Yes, every time you guys can guess what's in my bottle. That'll be the new thing for 2022, which is a big change in our lives, right? I don't know where I was going with that, but it is. Anyway, games. Yes, games. I have been playing some Battlefield 1 because I wanted to play some FPS, and that was the first one that I saw that involved not having to talk to people. I've also been playing Europa Universalis. I opened Crusader Kings and went, I know EU4 better than I know Crusader Kings, and I didn't want to deal with all the mechanics. I was like, I know the other game. I'm not very good anymore, though. I don't know if I always cheated or not. I can't remember. It's been a few years. But I've been trying to play one of the German nations, and ultimately by the end of the beginning of the 1800s is when you're supposed to be able to form Germany. By that point, I have not been successful. I have created what looks like Germany, basically, but I don't own all the necessary things. So I've been playing that a little bit. That's pretty much it. It's been pretty crazy with holidays and stuff. So those two games have been my primary ones. I know we played some games as friends, and I'm sure we'll talk about those in a few minutes, but it's basically it for me, and I've been talking for 3 minutes. So, Tom, so you can talk for 3 minutes, sir. How are you doing? How is your 2022 going? What have you been playing? And general musings, if you will.
I'm doing good. I haven't had to go back to work just yet, but I'm going back tomorrow, and I'm dreading every moment of it. Aside from that, I'm consuming clear liquid. I won't tell you what clear liquid. It's all vodka. But aside from that, everything's going good. My wife and I are looking at moving back to the East Coast, which has been time consuming. We've spent time with family on the East Coast throughout the holiday, which was great. It was really nice and relaxing, but also busy. I feel like the time between our last podcast and today has kind of flown by. And even the time between the last day I worked and today has also flown by. In terms of gaming, I have still, if you listen to the last podcast, nothing has changed. I've still been playing Fire Emblem. I beat the route that I was on when I was playing it previously. It was fantastic. I was playing the Edelgard route. I really liked it, but I'm playing the Blue Lion Dimitri route now. And I've also just taken the time to kind of like get everybody on my team and grind up their levels a lot and do a bunch of crap like that because I'm having fun breaking the game, I guess. So that's fun. I did get a couple games for Christmas that I haven't opened yet. So Shin Megami Tensei 5. I also bought the Shin Megami Tensei 3 remaster. And my wife got House of Ashes for our PS5. So
Nice.
haven't touched it yet, but we will play that. And we played a little bit more of episode intermission for Final Fantasy VII Remake, which has been fun. It's very lighthearted, I feel, which is fine with me. Yuffie's character is very goofy, which is also fine with me. So we're having fun with that. Jeez, what? I played a little bit of Rocket League today. I'm still okay. I played some Fortnite. I'm still not good. What else? I'm sure I've played some other stuff, but that's been like the main couple things I've been jumping in and out of, and it's been all Fire Emblem. I bought Pokemon Pearl, and I just haven't touched it yet, but I will.
You mean
yeah,
the remake, right? Brilliant
yeah,
Pearl.
yeah, for sure,
Brilliant.
the remake. And we have a guy who is doing some work for us here, and I think he might have just showed up. So I will pass it over to Megan. Why don't you tell us about what you have been playing, enjoying doing over your holiday, and how things are going, what you've been drinking.
Sure. Ow, Jesus Christ. I'm breaking my hand. That's what I'm doing.
Good.
New Year, same old me, drinking my unsweetened leaf lot water. My holiday was nice. I actually got to take some time off this year during the holiday, which I haven't done in 8 years. With my old job, it was kind of hard to get time off. So my new position allows me a little bit more freedom and flexibility, which is super cool. But yeah, as for games, I got back into Deathloop. I kind of stepped away from it for a little while. Really enjoying it. That's on the PS5. There's talk of them potentially putting it out on the Xbox soon. I know it was like one of the final PS5 like console exclusive games from Arcane before Xbox bought what is it, ZeniMax or whatever, whoever owns Bethesda. So that's been fun. I also dove back into Skyrim.
Ooh. Oh shit! I forgot.
Yeah.
I have some addendum. Keep going, but I'll addendum with that.
I think Mr. Pinto will talk a little bit more about this, but we were talking about how neither one of us ever actually finished the main story. So it's a goal of mine to complete it. Hopefully this year. We'll see how long it takes. I hope I don't get distracted, which is very possible. But I haven't made it far. I've only made it to the first Jarl after you survive the initial dragon attack when they're trying to execute you. So yeah, not a ton of new stuff, but
Megan,
yeah, I'm having fun.
I fucked up, and I don't know if you already talked about this or not, but VR.
Oh yes, VR. Tell me more.
I got a Quest 2. I think you had touched on the last episode. You got a Quest 2 as well, right?
Yep.
And
my Christmas present to myself.
Yep. I mean, that's exactly what ours was. Both my wife and I bought each other a Quest 2. Bought each other because it comes from the same bank account. A Quest 2, and didn't even wrap them. We just put them under the tree.
Nice.
So I've been playing. I think it's like 11 table tennis is probably my favorite game on there, and there's
Okay.
a couple other that are really cool. I can't remember the names, but they're like gun games and they're interesting. But man, do I get barfy with those.
Really?
Yeah, I wish I didn't, but something about it messes with my brain and gets me
Huh.
super barfy.
I understand. I understand,
I
sir.
Pinto, I never thought I was gonna be there.
It's a huge bummer. A lot of times Megan will send me previews of like games that look super cool that are come out soon, and I'm like, yeah, that looks
gonna make
really
me
cool. I feel like it's gonna make me puke.
Yeah, like they're neat for like 30 minutes and then I just start burping uncontrollably.
Aw.
And I don't know, it's really strange. The table tennis one doesn't get me. Beat Saber I'm fine with. Smash Drums, like anything where you're stationary. I'm okay.
I will say, like, I get motion sick in like cars and stuff if I'm not driving or sitting in the front seat. VR doesn't really bother me, with the exception of I did finally link my Quest to my PC to kind of try to expand my library, and I was
Yep.
testing out Phasmophobia, and just moving around the house, I felt like I was gonna fall over and vomit at the same time. Like it just, I couldn't do it. So I think I have to rig it so that I'm sitting in my chair to play it.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that. I did the same thing. I got the Quest link and I did that
Mhm.
with Skyrim VR,
Mm.
which is kind of wonderful, but super barfy. But the wonderful part is you can hold two swords and you can just do one in each hand and
That's
just run
awesome.
up to stuff and just like do this and just like move your hands as fast as possible. Shit dies immediately.
There's
It's
no like
amazing.
stamina bar or anything? Is it just like
I
as
thought
fast as you can move your hands?
I thought there would be, but I was over here just pulling chef moves, chopping them up as quick as I could, and like
Slicing and
nothing.
dicing.
Like there's a spot where you're going through a cave, and it's like, here's a bear. You should try to sneak around this bear. It's gonna be
Yes.
hard, or you can try to stealth attack it with a bow. I'm like, nah, I got this. I just ran up to it and Edward Scissorhands the fuck out of that bear. 2 seconds dead.
Nice.
Took no damage. I was like, I want to play more of this, but I'm just gonna puke everywhere if I do. But yeah,
That's
one day.
I'm glad you brought that up because I completely forgot about the Quest. I've been playing I Expect You to Die, and they have a sequel to it. It seems like it's going to be super short. It was on PlayStation VR, but it was kind of hard to play with the setup. But you are playing a spy. So you're like trying to destroy a super virus or steal like a car that has a missile system in it. So they're just like silly, fun little games. It's another like stationary game. But it's a lot of fun. I would recommend that. Like part puzzle. So that and I also bought an Xbox Series X.
Nice.
It's still in the box. I haven't taken it out of the box because
Also
I'm trying
fair.
to decide if I need it.
You're gonna
want it.
return it, aren't you?
I
You're
want
gonna
it.
return it.
You sound just like
Meg-
my fiance.
Megan, if you decide against it, I'll buy it from you.
I'll let you know. I will definitely let people know if I decide to return it because they're really hard to get.
Yeah.
The Series S, I'm actually seeing if anyone wants to buy it. I can get $200 from Best Buy if I trade it in, so I'd rather sell it to someone for $200.
That's it.
They're
I mean, yeah.
$300
That's
regular
that
price.
seems scalp it on the internet. You can sell for like $400, I'm sure.
See, I feel bad doing that. I like it. It hurts my heart a little bit.
No, I get it. I get it.
But
I'm saying.
yeah, they're easier to find. But I think if I decide not to keep the X, I'll let you know, Tom. Because I'd
Yeah,
rather
I would.
sell it to someone that I know rather than just take it back to the store.
Yeah, I'd be into it. And I mean, like you said, they're super hard to find. So it's hey,
I-
spread the wealth if you.
I
if
was
you can.
surprised. Like we ran to Target, we had to run some errands, and I wasn't even planning on getting anything. I just wanted to go to get out. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go check out to see like what kind of games they have, if they have any sales. And I turned around and like right in the case, they had 5 of them. And Target's been doing a thing where you could do like orders online only for the new consoles, where you have to like order to pick it up. You can't buy them
Yeah.
in store. So I went up to the desk and I'm like, hey, can I buy one of those in store? And the guy just like slowly nodded his head and he's like, yes. I'm like, can I buy one? He's like, yes. Will you buy me one? So then we were talking custody. We were going to split it. And he's like, you can have it on weekends. We're still working it out. But yeah, I was surprised to see not one, but 5.
Wow.
So I scooped it up while I had the opportunity.
You had all these discussions about custody, and now it's just sitting unused and
It's just
unloved
sitting
in its box in
in
your
my
apartment.
office. Here's the problem. I'm trying to decide, A, do I need it? Which I don't need it, but I definitely want it. And I don't know how scarce they'll be in the future because everything is getting harder to find. That's
Yeah.
kind of why I got the Oculus 2 when I did. And B, nothing is out for it yet, but there's plenty of stuff coming out for it that I want. Bethesda mainly, Fable, stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. And then C, it's not going to fit in my TV stand. Did I ever tell you guys about my TV stand dilemma with the PS5 and how gigantic it is?
Didn't you buy a new TV stand
I
for
had
your
to buy a new
PS5?
TV stand
Yeah.
because the PS5 was like precariously like sitting on the top of it because that was the only place it would fit next to the television, and I was just waiting for the day that a cat jumped up there and like decided to do what cats do best and knock it over. So I had to buy a new. I didn't have to. I chose to buy a new TV stand to fit it, but it's like if I lay it on its side, it's close to 6 inches, and the gap on the shelf is 6 inches exactly.
Oh God.
So it's stupid,
so-
but it bugs
such
me.
a it's such a crappily designed like shape too.
Giant,
Like
yeah.
I get they wanted to look cool, but it looks so.
It
It's such a
doesn't
pain in
even
the
look
ass.
cool. It's a
I don't think
it's
so
a
either.
black spire. Like it's a little obelisk. I don't know. It's fine. I don't like this generation of console design. Like even the 5 is weird. It makes me think of some
Oh,
weird alien life form.
I think we had it backwards because I was referring to the 5, which I think
Oh,
is
oh,
a
oh.
monstrosity.
It's yeah, that equally is it's I think it's worse.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the redesign one day when there are enough components to do that. The X is just boring. It's just like it's a black box.
They'll
So
just turn into PCs eventually and just throw like
yeah,
it'll just be a glass case with RGB in it and it'll light shit up.
it'll
That's
just
it.
it'll be
Really all it
streaming.
needs to do.
That's what it will be. You'll pay for a
Yeah,
subscription
that's true.
service to Sony streaming. So, but that's enough from my mouth. Mr. Pinto, how are you? What have you been playing and what are you drinking?
I'm drinking some Arnold Palmer, which, I mean, it's not. I wouldn't really call it that. I just mix some iced tea and lemonade at work in my water bottle. But
Homebrew.
yeah, it tastes all right. It's very sweet, just like me.
Ow.
Games. What have I been? Well, I started playing XCOM on my phone because I was just bored one day, and I was like, I have XCOM on my phone. I should play XCOM. And gosh, I love XCOM. What a great game.
It's a good port too.
It is. It really is. Beyond that, as Megan stated, I'm not really big on New Year's resolutions, but I was like, I'm gonna beat Skyrim. That's my New Year's resolution. I'm gonna beat Skyrim. So I'm playing Skyrim. I'm immediately already not on the main quest. I'm a werewolf cat. Just shooting everyone with arrows because that's what I always default to, and sneaking up on people and cutting their throats with daggers. I took the liberty of modding it this time at least, so like it looks a lot prettier than it used to. So it's much shinier.
Nice.
I mean, it's still Skyrim, like, you know.
Shinier than the
Skyrim.
remaster.
Probably not. You're never gonna make it look great, but let me tell you how many mods there are that are like, "You want big boobs?" I'm like, no, I just
Oh,
want
no.
it to be like,
Why?
I want like cooler physics and like more realistic blood spatters. You want big boobs? No, the night sky. I want the night sky to look nice.
Didn't-
You want nice
Big titty
boobs?
mod.
Yeah.
Didn't most of the characters have big, like, rather, not big, like, oversized or anything, but rather large breasts
Unnecessarily
already?
large.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's like cyberpunk.
Yeah. It's not quite the level of, like, an anime or something, but it's, like, not far off from that.
I don't need to see my character's bits. I don't care about
Yeah,
that.
I use first person anyways, so I don't
I
care.
did not need to choose between penis 1 and penis 2 when I created my character. Okay, then I did not see either of those penises throughout the game, and the world was better off for it. I didn't play that far though either, so maybe there's just a whole segment where you're just dong out for like 3 hours straight. I don't know.
Oh, I'm definitely interested.
Ooh, yeah. I was reading an article where Keanu Reeves was actually, he thought it was pretty funny.
He was super
that people were-
stoked.
Well, people were trying to mod the game so that they could have sex with his character, and he thought it was kind of funny and kind of cool.
Yeah.
But like, CD Projekt Red, like they shut it down real quick.
I guarantee you it's still happening in some corner
Oh,
of
for
the internet.
sure.
There's the Keanu's PP mod out there. The piratebay.org. Cyberpunk
Napster.
Keanu Dong Yanu.
Keanu
so
D's nuts. Anyways.
I have to ask. Oh boy, did you name your character anything fun and exciting?
I named my character Clark after the hug bear
Clark.
from the Adventure Zone.
Clark.
Yeah. I am running around as Clark the Khajiit.
The Khajiit. Okay. I went with an
Khajiit has
orc.
wares.
I'm an orc, and I went with a Grumpus Facebreaker.
Not
Pretty proud.
Jimmy or of
Yeah.
Jimmy
I
of
was
like
gonna
East
say-
Jersey or what was it?
I'm gonna resemble Jimmy of South Jersey.
Oh,
after
South
we-
Jersey. Okay.
House because but that was his name, was Jimmy of South Jersey. He was an orc with a severe underbite,
I love it.
and my wife and I still just make severe underbite faces at each other. Go, Jimmy.
That's really, I mean, yeah, I'm playing a 10-year-old game at this point, and I'm acting like it's something new, but you know, that's
It's
fine.
still exciting.
And then
That's you and like 30% of the population, my dude. Like
yeah,
Skyrim is still played quite a bit.
to be fair, I have only bought Skyrim once though.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
I
wasn't-
guess I've
Personally,
bought it twice
for me.
because VR, but VR is different.
Just like I'm guilty of buying Grand Theft Auto 5 3 times. So, like I can't throw stones, but and also like buying Final Fantasy 7 8 times, not even considering the remake. It let's not talk about it.
So Skyrim, the original,
Yeah.
was it PS3
No, on PC.
or PS4? No. Like it came out on.
On the
PS...
PS3, yeah.
PS3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like Grand
So
Theft Auto 5.
I own it on the PS3.
Uh-huh.
I own it on the PS4, the
Uh-huh.
remaster. I bought it for my Nintendo Switch.
Uh-huh.
I bought the anniversary edition because I want to try fishing.
Uh-huh.
That's on the PS5.
Right.
And then I also purchased it for the PC.
Nice. So it's the Elder Scrolls
You know you're gonna
5,
get
so you have to
VR
buy
now,
it 5
too.
times.
I know, I am. I have to play 5 different games, or else it doesn't count.
Yeah.
I mean, it lets you do like the thing where you actually hold the bow and you pull the string back to aim and
Oh,
shit.
that's cool.
And I mean, it feels neat. It's
All right.
there's a Fallout 4 VR also, and I hear that it sucks, but if you mod it to hell, it becomes good. So I don't know. I'm
Oh,
thinking
so
about
it's
that, too.
DayZ.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, DayZ VR when
Oh God, no. No.
much barf.
Oh,
Try to drive.
I don't know if you guys remember the first time I played DayZ. Like the very first time I got violently ill. I was like,
Oh,
"Guy,
wow.
I have to stop. I can't.
As bad as Goat Simulator?
Oh, that was Perry's fault with her janky ass mouse hand. No, it wasn't that bad.
Harry, if you're listening, janky ass mouse hand.
Yeah.
Get it checked out.
So we're like 25 minutes into the podcast, and that's fine because we don't have a real topic Yeah, I know the last episode we did was a topic list episode, but this is just like a general. We haven't done this in a month, and it's also a new year, so let's talk about the things we did last year and what we really enjoyed, and then what we're hoping for in the new year, games and stuff. And that's really about it. Like, I think we could pretty much all agree that our breakout game of last year was Ultimate Chicken Horse.
Oh yeah.
Did we start Ultimate
I
Chicken
don't
Horse
know.
last year or in 2020?
Let's see.
We
Was it?
started it last year. It was last year, but
Okay, all right.
I don't know if I would call that the breakout game of the year though. Like
It has the staying power, my friend. It's
that's
definitely
the only
game with the
thing.
staying power.
It has the staying power. It's definitely the staying power game of the year. But like, what about DayZ? You know, is that a comeback player of the year or game of the year? I don't know.
I think DayZ was our like banner game of the year, considering we all played and dedicated hundreds of hours of our lives to it, and would play at random intervals on our own, and just log in to do like inventory management shit. I started playing on a second server at the same time, built a cabin and had lightsabers and
Yeah.
shit.
I don't know. Or I mean, the other game too is The Forest. We did technically start it in December, but we did not get through much of the story before like Christmas break, and then first like January is when we finished it. So it was early, but that game too is a game that we were also really enjoyed. We all played together. We played through the whole thing, and we've been excited for a long time on that. Raft is another one. We had a lot of games last year that we
Yeah,
ended up playing together.
I enjoyed The Forest a ton. I enjoyed Raft a ton. I'm looking at my Steam hours played. The Forest is at 31.4. DayZ is at 565.1.
Wow.
I mean, there was a madness that I fell into with DayZ, and I think we all had our individual affair with DayZ from time to time. And The Forest was more of like a collective endeavor. It was more of like actually having a group get together and having a good time. And DayZ was like, no, I want to put myself through this. I want to have to find the can opener to open the beans to survive for that extra 2 minutes. I want to live through the crazy cheese guy from Russia that won't shut the fuck up in general chat. And I want to run down
Soviet
like an
cheese.
ambulance to find the woman that's screaming for alcohol and then just dance around her and pretend to offer assistance while rendering no actual assistance because she doesn't understand she can just take enough Tetra pills and be okay.
I think my favorite moment of that too was you and Pinto, right, getting stuck in the car, the mod coming to help both of you out, and then the mod talking to you so long that you died of starvation.
That was like the first night we played too.
It was.
Yeah.
It set the tone for the entire experience.
It really did, because later on we were building our base, and he was the one that helped us build our base. And I couldn't hear him in the game, so I was in like a voice channel with him, and I was like, yeah, I remember just like being in that car and you helping me out with that, and then I died of starvation. And he just starts laughing his ass off. He's like, that was you? He was like, we had a whole moderator discussion about how hilarious that shit was.
That's awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, my guy just keeled over and died right in front of him. It's fantastic. But we all have like a little bit more of like a solo streak to us, and that game, like the server that we were primarily playing on, really encouraged you to be like, hey buddy, I don't have any food, guy, could you help me out? And then people would just like drive to you and give you shit, and some people would take advantage of that. And I felt like our crew was more like, no, we want to find stuff on our own and we'll help each other out, but like have the survival experience.
We didn't really. We weren't super helpful. I'll say that, but I don't see that to be a problem.
No,
We
I
ran
just
into a
think
few people,
yeah, and
like the dude with the tent. and were like, "Do you need any help?" But no one, everyone was like pretty okay on their own.
Yeah, I guess what I was saying is more of like, I think whether it's that server or some of those players, them having that more collaborative attitude made
Mm.
it kind of less lasting because there wasn't as much of competition for
Ah,
resources. It really just got kind of annoying at certain points where it would be like, I'm gonna go run this particular mission, and then somebody else would be like, I'm already here. And you'd be like, well, I could just drive for 30 minutes to the other side of the map to do another thing, or I could fuck off for the night, and I don't know which I want to do now.
It was usually
So
drive 30 minutes to the other end of the map for the
Yes.
mission.
yeah.
so I'm gonna ask all of you, since we had a couple games, were one of those games like your personal game of the year for you? Like, was that the game, or if someone said, what was a great game you played last year? Is the first one you go to, or is it like one of your more solo games that you're like, no, that game was the best for me for last year? Because like Tom, you went like full head in with a bunch of games, but Crusader Kings I know is a huge one for you. You played hundreds of hours of that, and I think
Yeah.
like 2 months of the podcast straight, it was always I'm playing Crusader Kings, right? So I'm curious what you think.
Here's the crazy shit I'm doing in Crusader Kings. Um, yeah, I mean, I feel like Daisy is like the banner game, but it wasn't my favorite game. Um, Crusader Kings, I think, was kind of like a secondary banner game for me. Uh, it was probably my favorite game for a while. I feel like right now Fire Emblem is like my favorite game that I played last year. And it's an older game, but I love it. So, and
I think
I've put in like
for
150 hours on that too. It's just I just keep
yeah,
going.
I think for me as a group, it's probably between the Forest and Ultimate Chicken Horse. We played Raft as a group, and that was fun. But if I had to pick a group game, it would be one of the other two. But solo for me
Yeah.
was probably Raft. Like Raft was the most calming game for me last year. It was so easy to like do something else while turning off my brain and just kind of like sail along. And I found that game incredible. And like it seems like every couple weeks it's like, hey, have they put out the new chapter yet? And like I bet you if that game was a full length game, it may have been higher than like the
Mm.
Forest, for example, for me. But those two games, I think, probably stand out the most for me, which is funny because I know the Forest was, like I said, I think early January, mid-January is when we finished it, somewhere around there. But Raft was not long after. So it was actually the earlier part of the year for me that were my two favorite games I played last year, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, I got to give it up to Littlewood too. I was really in the Littlewood universe for a while, and kind of miss it. But I don't know. Megan Pinto, what do you guys think?
For me, I think group game, hands down, would be Ultimate Chicken Horse. I think I've had the most fun with that game. Like I enjoyed Raft. I wish there were more to Raft that we got to play. I think that experience was kind of cut short just with content so far. And Forest was fun, but Ultimate Chicken Horse, I think, has been the best just because of the crazy shit that we do, um, and how we can make it through usually. So that's been a lot of fun. Personally, I rediscovered my love of The Binding of Isaac, especially with new DLC coming out in August. I bought that on my PC in September, and I've logged about 140-ish hours in the game so far. So I've just been playing a lot of that nonstop. So, yeah.
Pinto?
I think I'd probably have to go with Ultimate Chicken Horse. I think part of it is because like we are so good at the game that like when we start doing things, we never really feel like we're fucking each other over until the level is literally impossible, when it's like physically impossible to get to the
You
goal.
can't get there, yeah.
But like every obstacle we add, we're just like, oh man, you suck. And that's hard, but we're not like frustrated with each other, you know? Like it's never gotten to a point where I think we got mad at each other for what we were doing, which in a game like that, that's kind of impressive almost.
Yeah.
And then when you consider like, you know, I've kind of started just like playing around with the block probabilities and just making levels with only certain obstacles or certain blocks. And it's gotten pretty wild. And it like, it's really, I guess I would say, extended the life of the game for me almost. Just like figuring out what we can do with it. Because it's gotten to some points where I'm like, I don't know if the game can handle what we're doing to it. Because I know that we've had situations where you guys have been like, the game is lagging really bad for me. Like, I think
Yeah.
it's just because we're overloading it with, like,
Tennis
too much
balls.
stuff. Tennis balls or
It gives
crossbows or...
It gives you an appreciation for the level, though, too, and like how the level affects the items that you're using. Because we were doing nuclear plant, and we had the
Portals.
teleporty guys.
Yeah.
And we were just finding ways to have them go into each other and go crazy places, but like to make that a trap in that game, you have to also find a way to like set them at the same time and make it so they go back to the start under the elevator and stuff like that. But then
Yeah.
you can recover from that too with port. Like there's so much possibility. But if you had the same setup with like portals and like volcano, you'd have to structure it differently. So.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think it's helped us, like, there are certain levels that we definitely enjoy way more than others. We're like, oh, this level sucks. Where we're just like, I don't really want to play this level. But
Pier.
Old Mansion.
Yeah, Old Mansion's balls.
I just can't get the damn elevator.
Yeah, it's broken for you.
I don't understand.
So strange.
It just disappeared.
Like, I can't really think of any games for me, though, that I played solo that stand out to me more than the games that we played together, because my time's become a lot more limited. So when I prefer to play games, I prefer playing them socially. I know I really enjoyed Coffee Talk, but I know that that's like such a niche game. Again, like, I think visual novel type games are pretty sweet, especially if they're not porn, which are like really hard to find. So I really liked that game a lot, and I'm eagerly awaiting the second chapter that they're going to release. But beyond that, like,
Doki Doki Literature Club.
yeah, but I played that. I didn't play Plus, actually. I played that like a couple of years ago. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like games I played by myself, and not much is popping to mind.
You guys all played the Final Fantasy VII remake last year.
That was last year. God, dude,
That was last
like,
year.
time
Was
is
it
just.
No, that
21?
was 2020. That was
That was
pandemic.
2020?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
God,
Okay.
okay, so 2021 was like the weirdest year. It went unbelievably fast for me
And
personally.
very slow at times. It was very
Yeah.
stop start stop start. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2020
exactly.
part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
exactly.
feel like we've been
It's
in the
just the
same
extension.
situation. Absolutely. Yeah, and it just it you didn't realize that like 2 or 3 months had gone by before they actually had. And you're like, well, that sucks. That's some percentage of my life just gone.
Yep.
And I don't know what I did. What in now that we're in 2022, is there games that you guys are hoping and looking forward to and everything you want to play?
I Am Jesus Christ.
I Am Jesus Christ should be out. I'm
That
so
April
excited
release
for that.
date.
I just checked it. Does it have a February release date? It just says 2022 online.
I've only seen 2022 since they postponed it from, I believe, Christmas last year.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Easter would still be perfect. Christ will rise again.
I'm hoping it's Easter as well. That'd be pretty funny. But we'll see. I'm really excited for The Forest 2. Or
Yeah.
Sons of the
Sons of the
Forest.
Coming soon, isn't it?
June?
Yeah, that's
is
supposed
it,
to come
or
out.
May?
I think it's May, but
Okay.
who knows
It's our
if
birthday
it'll get
game.
postponed. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's like right between our birthdays, I think, something like
My four lads, my four
Oh,
lads.
there it is. I knew we'd pull it out eventually.
that. We figured it out. Yep. I'm really
Just
Nice
excited
work,
for
Tom.
that one.
thank you.
Is
Yeah,
there
I'll be excited to play that with you guys.
is there like any? I know he's been releasing like screenshots and stuff, but is there a release date for Haunted Chocolatier?
I don't
I don't think
believe
so.
so.
I don't think it's going to be 2022, honestly.
It's a one-man band making that game.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine how much effort goes into that. And it's a one-man band that has millions of dollars and should not be rushing to complete anything.
Which is insane. I forget who posted an article, but just like the millions of copies that he has sold of that game.
Good for
Yeah.
him. Stardew Valley is amazing. Yeah, I would be excited for that. I'm excited for the new Pokemon Arceus game that's supposed to be,
Is it
I
this
think,
month?
February.
I thought it was end of January.
Is it end of? Oh, it might be. You might be right, actually.
Well, the
Could
end
be
of
wrong, though.
January is the start of February, so you know. Similar.
Thank you.
Semantic
Pinto.
difference.
I know.
Yeah, January 28th. I'm into it.
I'm just hoping
Elden
that
Ring?
Elden Ring, maybe. That's next month, I believe. I just hope games stop getting pushed back. That's my hope. I'm really looking forward to Dying Light 2, which has been a long time coming.
That's February, right?
Yep. Yeah. Sifu, which is on the PlayStation 5.
That does look interesting, I must
Doesn't
say.
it? You get experience by dying, which is super cool, and you age when you come back.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's like a beat 'em up game. You're trying to, like, I think, kill the people that killed your family. You know, that typical storyline in games. That looks cool. Horizon, the new Horizon
yeah.
comes out next month
Forbidden
as well.
West.
Yep. Oh, I don't know if any of you saw Sony announce the PSVR 2.
I did see that.
They're
Yeah, I do that.
I like their controllers. That's really all I've seen. It looks like they're similar to the Oculus setup, which is much better than the stupid move poles.
Glow stick.
Yeah, exactly. The army bomb.
Yeah, I like the Oculus controllers.
I like them a lot. And they announced a Horizon game for the PSVR. So
that'll be interesting.
yeah, definitely. But
I would expect that to have like bow controls and stuff like that too. I mean that would just work out nicely. That game could fit that very nicely. I just worry about my barfiness again.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and I hope it's not as cumbersome to set up as the first VR headset was for the PS5. Like, you needed lighting to be perfect. There were a lot of cables, a lot of like adapters and accessories.
I think. What's the price on it?
No idea.
I mean, it would be nice if, like, my Oculus headset would just work on it. I'm sure it won't.
Nah.
But
they wouldn't allow that.
We're kind of getting to that point where there's too many different headsets.
Yeah.
And they should just work on the same crap. But
I could see
I don't
though.
know.
Like, Horizon finally came out on the PC, so eventually I think you would see it on, at least, you know, a Horizon property for VR on an Oculus or something.
Oh yeah, or just take it to Steam.
Exactly.
Whatever. Yeah, that makes sense. You know how much? I feel like there are all these anticipated games in February, and I'm not recalling like any more than like Pokemon. My brain's like, yeah, I got Pokemon. Pokemon's fine.
Yeah, like the only at least big hitters for me would be Dying Light, Horizon, Elden Ring, maybe.
Elden Ring, I think, is another big one.
Yeah.
I might hate it though. That's my
Yeah.
concern. It
No,
looks cool. Looks cool as hell.
I feel you on that.
Isn't
It does look nice.
isn't it supposed to be like another like kind of Dark Souls, Bloodborne kind of?
But like more, it's from that group, but it's more open world.
Yeah. And it's written like it's a new world created by like George R.R. Martin because he doesn't want to write Game of Thrones ever
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Even though he still is allegedly going to.
It's been
But,
like 12 years, man. I don't know.
They put that shitty ending on TV. No one cares.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just some of the art in it really looked interesting to me.
Like some of the
so-
bosses look incredible.
Yeah, they look awesome, and they're like creepy and like
Uh-huh.
like just designed in kind of a new approach, which I think is fresh and interesting.
Ooh, our favorite from E3, I think, is coming out this year too. The Chaos, that Final Fantasy, whatever,
Oh,
Stranger of Paradise.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I just Look,
Uh,
I liked Final Fantasy 15, and I know that was like a lot of people were kind of like iffy on it. I liked it, but I feel like Square Enix is like, we don't know what we're doing anymore, kind of.
Let's just
No,
hope
they've
for
lost
the
their
best.
goddamn mind. There was a report recently that I saw that a lot of their shit is like in mobile and gacha games, and they just keep
Mm.
pumping more out, and their ass. So
Yeah, there's
I'm
like
up with that.
there's like 3 Final Fantasy gacha games that I can name off the top of my head. So
Babylon's Fall.
like what?
Square, Babylon's Fall, I think it's called. That's
I
like
don't know.
one weird. It's getting terrible like pre-release reviews.
Oh, great.
They've been sucking. Like the Avengers games sucked.
Mhm. Yep.
I don't know. I am very excited about 16. 16 looks really good.
16
I
looks
don't think
cool.
that's coming out this year though. Yeah.
Nothing yet, at least.
Isn't go on.
No, go ahead.
Isn't that new Bethesda Star game? Is that
That's
coming
where
out
I was
this year?
going. Starfield.
Yeah. Starfield,
November 11th. So
Oh,
it's like
that's
end of
forever
year.
away.
11/11.
Yeah.
I'll have your
Exactly.
Xbox by then.
And then
You
she'll
will.
have to buy another one. I never should have sold that Xbox, Tom.
And this is why Christy gets mad at me. Stalker 2 is coming out as well in like April, I think. That's
I
an
did not
Xbox
know about
exclusive.
Ugh. I'll
What
definitely have your Xbox by then.
what was the name of that weird freaking Slitterhead? Something like that?
Oh, yeah, something like that. The weird
Japanese horror
Japanese horror game.
game?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
caught my
I
interest
can't
The
just
man
remember.
with the slipper on his head.
just because I like horror games, and I feel like there's not enough like there's a
There
lot of
hasn't been
indie
anything
horror
good.
out there, but like AAA horror, not a lot of it anymore.
And Kojima's working on something new and being super cryptic as always.
Of course.
Yes.
Maybe we'll hear more about fucking Abandoned.
No,
There-
that Abandoned has been abandoned.
Abandoned, yeah.
Because they
Oh.
shot themselves in the foot. They were
They did.
dumbasses about it.
And they admitted they did.
Yep.
So I would love some spooky games.
Yeah. Me
Something
too.
new.
I'm not a big fan of the spooky games, but that's fine. I'm happy when they come out with a good one. Like I'm excited to play House of Ashes, even though I don't like the spooky games, because when they're done right, I appreciate them.
Their next
but-
game,
Looks
Looks-
insane.
great.
Really,
Yeah, it's
It's
part
in the
of
same
that
series, right?
anthology. Yep.
Yeah.
What is it like? Something about the devil.
The Devil in Me or something like that.
Yeah, it
Wait,
looks.
that's a Slipknot song. Nope, that's The Devil in I. Sorry.
people equal
Continue.
shit.
Yeah, that's also a Slipknot song.
I'm
That's
trying
groundbreaking lyrics.
to find it, but like that I think that'll be like the best one as far as scare factor. Yeah, it's The Devil in Me. That's what it is.
Well, I feel like they've
It's
kind of been building up to it anyways, you know?
the synopsis, at least right now, is a documentary film crew receives a mysterious invite to a replica of the murder castle of H.H. Holmes, who was America's first serial killer. And if anyone's familiar with it, like, he built this hotel with a ton of secret passageways and secret rooms to murder people.
That's the one that the American Horror Story series was based on, right? The hotel.
Loosely, yeah, definitely. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it
I'm-
was
I'm-
during the World's Fair that it was all set up and ready for the first World's Fair.
I am certain I have seen at least 3 documentaries about this because of who my wife is, but I will probably have to see a 4th
Just ask
one.
her.
Yeah.
She'll give
Yeah.
you the cliff notes.
That sounds cool, though. That'd be
Yeah.
really interesting.
I like what they do. I think it's super cool, and it tickles that part of my brain that's like, I want more scary.
Hell yeah. Isn't Quantic Dream working on another game, too?
They are.
The Star Wars game?
Yes, they're working with
yeah,
Lucas
that's right.
Games. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, they're good. I just don't trust Star Wars anymore. And Metal Slug Tactics is coming out, which I'm sure no one cares about except me, but it looks cool, and it's like a little tactical Final Fantasy Tactics kind of deal with guns and tanks, which I'm into.
Nice. They're doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, which the teaser looked interesting.
I told you guys a friend of mine wrote the script for the upcoming Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, right?
No,
Like, he is the screenwriter for it.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I sat next to him in AP English. I'm like, ha, he has always been into this shit. Good for him.
That's
Good
really
job, Chris. Well done.
good deal.
You're an awesome man.
I mean, you're naming all these things, and almost every single one of them, like, I'm a
Yeah.
yeah. And I think, like, because what I've been thinking about is like, dude, all the super huge developers have just like honed in on one thing. It's like Capcom's like Resident Evil
Yeah.
and Street Fighter. Oh, like, not even Street Fighter. Street Fighter 5 is the last one that came out, but we all know they released like 80 iterations of every Street Fighter game. So, I can't really. Like,
You have the
Square
people
is
doing
like
the Souls games.
yeah,
you have the
Square is like Final
Battlefields.
Fantasy, and it's like Parasite Eve. Anything from the Chrono universe? Like, there have actually been like rumors about a Chrono
Yes.
Cross remaster remake coming, which
Yep.
I find interesting that they would choose Chrono Cross instead of Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
But maybe
Maybe
they're
it's
like,
easier.
yo, if we touch Chrono Trigger, we will fuck it up and everyone will hate us.
Yeah.
So let's not do that.
Let's
I've
not
also
do that.
heard that if the remakes of Final Fantasy VII continue to go well, they're talking about potentially Final Fantasy VI, I believe. I think I've heard some stuff. The problem though is they're not gonna, it's a remake potentially, not a remaster,
Right.
and that could
That's
lead
fine.
to some problems. But I think there's
There's
also like a
seven things.
pixel improvement of Final Fantasy VI coming out this year.
That's
Or something.
February, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference.
No, it's the same
played through the
game. They're not
Yeah, it's
adding
just a little
content
bit
to
nicer.
it.
I've looked at the other ones and I think they look like hot trash, personally. So, not interested. I don't need. Here's the thing. I don't need your company. I understand why they're doing it, but I don't need your company to dedicate people to pulling out all the art assets from a Super Nintendo game and fuck with the pixels. I don't need that. Why? Make them do real work. But they get money off of it, so I guess I get it. But fuck
Again,
it.
you have more games than Final Fantasy. That's
because
that's
they,
my big
every
gripe.
every company is going to go with something that they can effectively guarantee a return. Because making especially a AAA game has become just as expensive, if not more so, than some movies.
Yeah.
It's so expensive to make them now. In fact, I would say it's often more than movies, unless it's like a top-rated movie. So, It's because of that, and they need to guarantee themselves a return, and
Right.
you don't have you can't fall back on a really famous star like Leonardo DiCaprio or something to
Sure,
say
you can.
"We're gonna
Bring
go
in
see
Norman
him."
Reedus. There you go. And his funky fetus.
Leonardo DiCaprio presents Tea Time.
Dude, if some game brought Leo in on a game, I'd probably be into it. I won't
Golden
lie.
tea.
But that's
Golden
the
tea.
problem that I think we're having in a lot of businesses.
Leo, what did you do to this tea?
And in
He's
our
not
video games, I
Chinese.
think
Oh,
that's
it's
what it
also
is.
tea, not Coke. Never mind.
Sorry, this turned into a bunch of pee jokes real quick.
Well, the worst part is I was like, who can I say for a famous actor? And I was like, well, I want to make sure everybody knows who it is, and I feel like everybody knows who that is, so that's why I used him.
Well, I mean,
So we just started slandering his name.
yeah,
It could have been
Fleming,
anyone.
you didn't crack
Yeah.
that Coke yet, did you?
I did crack that code.
Oh, it's time to play joke. I live 3 hours away. It's not going to happen. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to the old rhyme, me Chinese, me play joke, me put pee-pee in your Coke. And as a Chinese
but
man, I revel in that, so.
But he American, he so smart, he not drink the pee-pee part.
The rebuttal. Oh, man.
That's how you play the game.
The Chinese have been decimated. The Americans have won.
Oh, man. Hey, when's Diablo 4 come out? I don't care, because I don't want to
Never.
touch anything that Blizzard does ever again, I don't think.
You were going through what each company's been doing, and I was going to say Blizzard.
Yeah, Blizzard has been sexually harassing
sexual
everyone.
assault and harassments.
Yeah, Blizzard has, I don't know when that comes out, but Blizzard has major problems. I did hear
they
some
do.
amazing reviews of Age of Empires 4 that came out towards the end of the year, and that's become like the RTS game
Yeah.
of the new kids, if you will. A lot of even famous StarCraft players are trying it out.
That's
I
like
remember
Grubby's
our
bread and
first
butter right now.
podcast. Yeah, I remember our first podcast. I mentioned Age of Empires and how like there was this big community that had been developing, and Age of Empires 3 didn't do as well, but they've really come back to their roots in Age of Empires 4, from my understanding, and a lot of people are playing that. So I might try that out, early on this year, because
I'd
it
give
seems
it a
like
shot.
it's very popular.
I don't think I'm skilled enough to play any RTS that isn't War Selection anymore, but,
I don't even know if I'm that skilled.
That was a 2020 game. That was not a 2021 game.
Yeah, we didn't play much War Selection in 2021.
No, we didn't.
Here and there.
We would
had
pick it
less
up.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, we haven't really touched on it, but we played some Quiplash for New Year's Eve, and I really enjoyed that, a lot. So I would totally like to play more of that, and I'm sure they'll come out with another Jackbox in the near future with more good games. So I almost feel like the older I get, the more I gravitate towards those sorts of games, which are not they have a name, right?
Party
they're
games.
more social. They're more party based. They're not super graphically intense or anything like that. And I feel like a lot of studios just need to steer more in that direction. That's why Nintendo wins, right? Because there's a new freaking Mario Party, a new Smash Brothers at least character or something all the time.
Another Breath of
Mario
Fire
Kart.
character, or Fire Emblem.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
tease me like
I
that.
mixed up
Don't.
my
I was
games,
like,
I'm sorry.
Breath of Fire. Don't fucking do that to me.
I
Haha,
heard Breath of the
pranked
Wild in
you.
my head too, which I think is coming. Breath of the Wild too.
2, yeah. And they're supposedly remaking The Last of Us. I think Bend Studio is doing it. I don't know. Whatever.
Why?
Better graphics, more money.
Wasn't there
Stop,
supposed to be
no
a
one needs
Last
it.
of Us movie as well?
There's a TV series, and they're still shooting it.
Aren't they?
Oh, okay. I knew it was a TV series or a movie by HBO or something, right?
Yep,
Yeah, I
they're
think
spending
it's-
like $10 million per episode.
Holy.
They're doing 10
Crap.
episodes for the first season.
And they're gonna play
So $100
2
million?
episodes, and they'll cancel it. They'll be like, "Yeah, this is doing well."
I can't
watch
see
it.
that.
I
I
mean, if
think
they
they
record them
do.
all in advance, they probably do at least a season.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they just started filming again after the holiday. They've been all over. They've been in Canada. They're in I forget all
The
different
problem
places.
the problem with something like that
America.
is
America.
when the game came out, it came out 2014, I believe, and zombies were really in, infected, that kind of whole genre were really in, dystopian worlds was really in, and I feel like a lot of people at this point are kind of over it, so they maybe actually be just like be late to the game. Maybe the gap, because we haven't had a lot of good zombie games in a while, maybe the gap will help them, but I feel like a lot of people are done with Walking Dead and those kind of things. I don't know.
Zombies are played out, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
in the case of The Walking Dead, it just became a bad show. It has nothing to do with
Jumped the
zombies.
shark.
Sorry.
That's true. It did become a bad. No, you're right. It became a bad show. It
They
became,
oversaturated it themselves.
it
with
became
They
a
did.
bad
Walking Dead.
comic.
Fear the Walking
Like,
Dead.
I don't know
Yeah.
how much like our viewers of the podcast or our listeners of the podcast or you guys looked at the comics towards the end, but they got so weird.
And then he was just
so
like,
bad.
yeah, it's done.
It's over.
Yeah, and then he's
Done.
like, it's done. He's like, die, done, game over. I'm done. I made a couple $100 million from this probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's
There's promise.
You can't have a series run forever. That's the
That's-
thing. And a lot of
uh,
times
yeah.
they run longer than they should.
Also
and
true.
that's exactly what happened. I think
Yeah.
the TV show saved the comic as much as the comic made the TV show, obviously.
Hmm.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of interested just to see what else gets thrown our way in 2022. It seems like it's going to be a little bit of the year of the rebound for gaming developing.
I hope so.
So 2020 we had loose ends getting wrapped up, and then
Yeah.
2021 was hit by delays. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. Oh, Outer Worlds 2. I don't know when that's coming, but I want it.
But it's happening.
Yep.
Xbox exclusive.
I'm
Because
buying
they
that
own-
Xbox.
And Avowed. Avowed is their new IP as well from, is it Obsidian? It's like
Sounds right.
their competition for Elder Scrolls.
Oh, I'm
So-
into it.
Looks good.
There's a
We'll
lot
have to
out
show.
there. There's it's a new year, a lot of new promise out there. I'm ready for it.
I'm hopeful.
Eh.
So,
If
well, actually, I
and
want
then
to ask,
Omicron will kill us all.
Ah, boy.
I want to ask one final thing, Pinto. I heard the we got to wrap up this podcast, but I have one more question.
Did I
And
say
maybe we
that?
can wrap it up. We can wrap up the podcast with this.
Wrap it up.
Okay.
Do you
I
any
don't
of
I don't
you
recall
have-
saying that, but go ahead.
I heard it.
Well,
Really?
I heard. I could feel you.
heard me saying it. I put the energy out there. It was me.
I felt
It
like
was me.
I felt like Pinto, you were just about to say it, but then Tom said something else, and it got postponed. So I have one final question because we didn't actually specifically answer this. New year, new us. What do you guys hope? What's a resolution you have for either your personal gaming, like you want to go back to a game like a lot this year, do something with a game you haven't done, or what's like a hope for the podcast, I guess, for the year. What are you guys thinking?
Well,
need to do?
you know mine already. It's beat Skyrim, man. Like that's so far is my New Year's gaming goal, and I don't know how long it's gonna take me to do it. So I'm gonna stay on that. I'm level 13.
Ooh.
I got a ways to go. I haven't even talked to the Jarl of Whiterun yet. Like, woo, I got a long ways to go, my dude. But
The thing
we're
about
gonna do it.
Skyrim is you can beat the game really quickly, and then you say I beat the
I
game,
ain't
but
gonna.
there's so much content in that game that you'll be spending 100 hours playing that game.
Or
So-
I'll spend like 20 hours playing it and be like, I'm bored, and
I'm over
And
it.
quit.
uninstall it again. But I can't because Megan and I agreed to do it together. So
Yes.
yeah.
Are you hoping to build a new computer this year too, Pinto?
We'll see how the year plays out. I'm hoping to have my student loans paid off before June.
Woohoo.
If that is the case, I think,
Birthday.
yeah, but also like I really need to think about getting my own place again. So there's,
Yeah.
I'd like to, but it's pretty low down the list. I'll put it that way.
Gotcha. Yeah, for me, and that's why I asked. I'm thinking if I had, like, I don't have necessarily a gaming one, and this isn't directly related to the podcast, but I'm thinking, depending on how job stuff goes and how things happen there, maybe sometime this year, I don't even know when, but sometime this year, maybe I'll upgrade my machine. It's been, I think it's been 5. It may have even been 6. Whenever the Intel 6700K came out, that's the one I bought, and it was pretty recent then. So I think that's 5 or 6 years now, or so, and it's starting to feel like time. I really love doing it anyway.
Oh yeah.
I have a little more money right now, fortunately, so I'm thinking maybe doing that sometime this year as part of a, new computer, who dis kind of situation, and get something new for myself. So that's what I'm thinking about doing.
I've been thinking
Megan,
about getting a
Tom.
new. Haha! I jumped the ship. Take
Do
that.
it. Do it.
I've been thinking about building a new computer and mostly transferring most of what I have. I just want a new processor, really, which necessitates a new motherboard.
That's exactly.
I'm on. So you're on a 6th gen processor. I'm on a 7th gen processor. Mine is 8 core, so that's been kind of keeping me more afloat. But I want a Threadripper. I mean, there's so much out there that can just do so much. You do feel the bottleneck when you play a game like Crusader Kings or Civilization, even on an 8 core processor. It's fucking ridiculous. But there's a lot to like out there with the Alder Lake CPUs and with what's coming next from Ryzen as well. So I'm interested to play around in that sphere. Aside from that, I think like my gaming resolution is to try and do more in VR, like even just playing the ping pong games or like Beat Saber, and hopefully lose some weight doing that, which is just kind of more of an overall 2022 goal for me. On top of doing all the moving and all that crap and trying not to catch COVID. But I'll put that as my my goal out there.
My goal was to like obtain the new consoles, and I already did that. So I mean that's done. I would
Well,
like
you
to
have to do it again after you sell me your Xbox.
after I sell you my Xbox, I'll have to wait again for another one. No, I think I would like to finish more games because, like, we've talked about this. I like to buy them.
Yeah, so we're gonna hit up almost finish February soon, and that's when you gotta finish the games that you've almost finished.
Never gonna happen.
I restarted Deathloop. I'm going strong, and I started Skyrim, but that's gonna take a bit. Yeah, so finish more games. And I'd like to write more, whether it's about games or other things. I do like to write. I don't
Well,
sit down enough to kind of focus on it.
we have a website that's being worked on, so if you want to write stuff for a website.
Ew.
All right, cool, whatever. Fuck you too.
No, I used to do that professionally. I get it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to afford to live if I wanted to do it professionally. At least the jobs
no.
I interviewed
Oh, no.
for and had offers for, but it's something that I like to do in my spare time. So whether it's gaming related or something else, that's one of my goals this year. We'll see if it happens.
Tis a good goal.
And play more tabletop RPGs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I really want to do that.
Speaking of, there's a VR tabletop RPG called like Demio, I think.
I have it. I haven't played it.
I'm probably gonna get it. So we should play that because
Yes.
I bet it'll be fun.
It looks fun.
It looks so cool. Anyway, that was my last minute thing. So I thought of that at minute like 12, and it's just been sitting in the back of my brain, ready to fucking fly out of my mouth. Anyway, is that all we got? I think that's all we got.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, let us know what your gaming New Year's resolution is on our social media platforms that you can get to from joypadpod.com. Pinto, you were hosting, but I took over. Take that.
That's okay.
And then check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Send us emails at joypadpod@gmail.com. Give us ideas for what you'd like to hear. Do you like the Joypad Ramblecasts? Because I do, and I think we might do more of those in 2022 also. Honestly, we just kind of keep going. Like, it's not hard for us.
Yeah.
At least not for me. So again, thanks for listening. Happy 2022, y'all.
Oh.
Stay joyful.
Bye.
Bye.